for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Welcome to Working Crass Podcast, where we talk about the horse shit going on in the world and in our lives.
Yeah.
We are together. This is Lauren.
Hello.
And I'm Joshua. What's up? And today, we got some real horse shit to talk about today.
We got a lot of horse shit to talk about.
I mean, there's
so many things have happened.
Oh my God, a lot of things have happened. And everything that happens, everyone, has their own take on. Mm-hmm. But there's a group of people on television that have the right take every single time.
The most hilarious takes.
The funniest takes, but also, morally, the correct take. Always, 100% of the time.
Yeah, these people they're always right. They know everything.
They're a group of women. Sorry, men.
Yeah.
Sorry, men.
Yeah. The future is this group.
They're a group of very, very strong, intelligent, smart, important women.
Mm-hmm. Some might even go so far as to say they're stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave.
One of a kind and unique and original.
Truly, never been done before.
Never been done.
Nobody is like them.
You might be thinking, who could this possibly be? What are they talking about? Who could they possibly be talking about? Brian Stelter? No, we're not talking. I said they're women.
No, although he would fit in.
He would fit in.
He would fit in, and if the producers of the show are listening, they should probably, for future note, consider adding Brian Stelter to the host list.
Absolutely. Are they talking about Oprah Winfrey? No, never. She's mean.
Yeah, she's absolutely mean. She's disgusting.
This is something we learned here in Chicago from somebody who went to the Oprah show when it was in Chicago, and apparently Oprah was very mean to the dogs somebody brought on.
They were going to do a show that had to do with the ASPCA. Is that what it is? The American Humane Society, whatever,
Down
for the
syndrome,
protection,
something.
Whatever, for animal stuff, and they were going to have a bunch of dogs for adoption that they were going to showcase on the show,
mm-hmm.
and this is, I heard this from a person who was at the taping of that segment.
Yes.
Who, this is the information that I was given, but apparently. Mm-hmm. Instead of allowing the dogs to be held backstage while they're waiting to be, shown in front of the camera,
yes.
Oprah was like, "No, I don't want them in the building.
No dogs in the studio.
Keep them in the vans."
Oh my God!
And so that's why we say,
Oprah's mean.
Is mean. Oprah doesn't like dogs. She likes bread, but she doesn't like dogs.
Now, Ellen is also an influential woman, also mean. Don't quite know why. I can't really figure that one out.
She wants a really good show, so she's really tough on the people producing it and writing it.
And that's their thing, is Ellen's mean.
Ellen's mean.
Backstage, she's actually really mean. She comes into my office and says, "Is that script done yet?" I'm like, "Quit yelling at me."
Although I will say, Ellen does get a little awkward with some of the guests.
Oh, yeah.
Asking questions.
No, Ellen's a bitch. Let's be honest.
She's a bitch. She is. And I don't
when you see her talk to people, she's not good at talking. You can tell she's fucking tired and ready for her day to be over. She's a bitch.
She definitely asks some backhanded questions where she's
absolutely.
like, "Yeah, I'm digging into you a little bit, and absolutely. I know I am."
But she runs a show. I expect her to be a little mean.
Yeah, I expect her to be a little mean.
If you run something successful, you got to be a little mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you're a boss lesbian bitch, you got to be a little mean.
You got to be a bit of a bitch. You got to be a bitch to be a boss lesbian bitch.
Hey, she's got good dance moves.
No matter how influential any of these women we've talked about so far are, it's still not the show.
Yeah, they're never going to come close to this group.
This group of women.
This group is superior.
They are absolutely superior. And we're, of course, talking about The View.
The View.
The View.
The View.
The View is just America's greatest morning show. It really represents all of us and how we all feel.
I feel like...
You feel accurately represented when you watch it.
Yes. When I watch The View, I feel like, oh my God, they're speaking right to my soul.
When I watch The View, I go, this is good for women.
Yeah, when I watch The View, I go, wow, what an intelligent take.
Yeah.
What an intelligent and insightful group of women.
This makes women look real smart and good. This is a good representation of women in America.
Yeah, I always think to myself, this really shows the patriarchy.
Yeah,
We're really
this will show them. This will show them. Yeah. Well, today what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through all of these takes from The View. Maybe this thing will get taken down because we're using
a bunch of clips from The View. But you know what? We're providing commentary. We're providing necessary commentary.
We are providing necessary commentary on these videos. So
because if there's one thing that The View is that it is hilarious.
It's very, very funny.
It's so hilarious.
And I want the people that listen to this podcast to know just how many times The View has been 100% correct on the issues here.
That they've been 100% correct and 100% hilarious.
So, first topic, real funny, Ukraine. And
but before we get into the topic,
I've already given it away. Go ahead.
For people who don't know The View, because there might be people
Everyone knows The View.
Everyone knows The View?
Everyone knows The View.
Oh, okay. Well, then
at this point, they're a meme. They're a meme,
no,
for
never
sure.
mind. All right.
If you don't know The View, Google it.
If you don't know The View, stop watching our podcast because you fucking suck.
You're a misogynist.
You're a misogynist, transphobic piece of dirt scum.
Yeah, there's no trans people on The View, but you're transphobic for not watching it. No, and to our UK listeners, is there a United Kingdom version of The View? And with a bunch of other donkey women just hee-hawing in the morning? All right. Like I said, the first topic here is a funny one. It's the Ukraine, okay?
Yep. And this... Our list of the most hilarious takes from The View is in no particular order. It's just completely random, but it's all things we felt were absolutely hilarious and 100% correct.
Absolutely 100% morally sound and correct. And all right, let's see what The View co-hosts
have to say about the situation in Ukraine.
I have to say, this thing in the Ukraine, it's so disheartening. My stomach was all like tight, seeing Martha there, knowing that she's...
I had to take a big old shit. I had to take such a shit when I saw that damn Ukraine. My stomach tightened up and a little poot came right on out.
When I heard about the situation in Ukraine, you know I was rushing to that bathroom to release a Putin.
When Whoopi has to take a puppy, shit gets real in the Whoopi household. And the Ukraine made shit get real.
I had diarrhea for 3 weeks.
In the middle of it, and knowing, people in the Soviet Union, the people
in Russia,
they don't want this war. They don't.
She thinks it's still the Soviet Union?
They do. The view is kind of stuck in the 1980s, 70s time period. Like, they never left. They're still there mentally. That's where they live. And you know what? That's okay. They can live there. They're allowed to.
And she's like, and just to think, it was Hitler who did all of this too. She has none of the facts right. Can you believe Mussolini would do such a thing?
Literally, they didn't even know Ukraine was a country. They just thought it was all the Soviet Union. You're like, the Soviet Union is fighting itself?
I don't want this war. He wants it because he's trying to hold on.
Yeah. I think what I also thought about was the fact that estimates are 50,000 Ukrainians will be dead or wounded, and that this is going to start a humanitarian crisis.
It's just, you think about what this really is. This is a TV show with a desk of a bunch of rich celebrity women, and then they go, today, we want you to, hey, Ukraine, go talk about it. Like, there's people being bombed and dying, and then they run in here, and these rich celebrity women, and they go, hey, talk about the Ukraine and all that stuff.
And then they went, what is that?
It's sad. Just say, oh, it's so sad.
Oh, it's sad?
Yeah.
But is it a country?
It's a war.
A war? Where?
In Ukraine.
Where is that?
It's in Europe.
Is it like the Eiffel Tower?
No, that's not what it is.
Is it like...
It's near Russia.
Near... You mean the Soviet Union?
No, not anymore.
Wait, not anymore? What?
A refugee crisis in Europe. We're talking about 5 million people that are going to be displaced. I mean...
She had to memorize that fact before they started.
They did.
All right, they give each person a fact.
They give each person well, they would give each person a list of facts, but they were like, a list? That's too many things for them to remember. Give them one.
They hold it and they go,
They're like, this is your fact.
I mean, look at her. This is an intelligent one.
It's heartbreaking to hear what is going to happen.
Well, I'm scared of what's going to happen in Western Europe, too.
Yeah.
You know, you plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of the pandemic. And now this, it's like, what's going to happen there?
Now, and like I said, the best takes on The View. Now, this is what we should be thinking about.
It is. How many of you thought, man, I would like to take a vacation, I don't know, somewhere in Eastern Europe?
Yeah. But the damn Ukraine's going to war. Man, pandemic first, I wanted to go to Italy, and now this. Oh.
Not even Italy. I wanted to go somewhere, I don't know, just a random Eastern European nation. I just thought, I don't know, where's the most oligarchs? Where do they live? That's where I want to go vacation.
What's funny is right after the other lady's like, 500,000 displaced, people are going to, the refugees are going to have to find new homes. And she goes, I'm just thinking about the vacations here. What are we going to do? How are we going to go on vacation to European countries?
Yep. And honestly, Joy Behar, spot on. I say, forget those stinky refugees. Yeah. It's the vacationers. It's the vacationers who are really held back by this problem.
I should send Putin a really nasty worded email about how I need to go on vacation, and he's messing that up.
No, I'm not going to message Putin. I'm going to message the Four Seasons.
Dear Four
the Hilton
Seasons.
Gardens.
The manager of the Hilton Gardens. Dear manager, of whom it may concern.
I need to know, is my vacation plan ruined?
P.S. I need this vacation.
You don't understand. I'm on a show surrounded by other lunatic women.
Our periods have synced up, and once a month, our show gets wild. This is what happens once a month on The View, is all of their periods have synced up, and they all say something controversial in the same episode. Oh my God.
Do you think the producers plan that out? They're like, oh, the cycle is matching up. We're going to have a viral clip in
3, 2,
and 1.
What about my vacations?
What? You're not saying I can't go to my summer home.
Whoopi's like, I had the worst tummy cramps.
I got gas. This whole thing in Ukraine gives me gas.
It made my stomach cramp.
That is a strange reaction to have to war, is to get gas.
Well, she didn't specify that. We said that. I got the worst gas.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, and this guy.
Whoopi goes for the vacation. Yeah. That's a good point.
A sensation in a certain way, you know what I mean? I don't know that that he has that much support in his country, like you say. And maybe that has to be addressed, because we've seen this movie before in the last century.
I know people keep asking, like, how does it affect me? Because it's natural to look at that, and the U.S. can't save everyone. But to see someone who we've been talking a lot about in the last 6 years and how he says things and he's dangerous and this, and now he is calling people...
How he says things and he's dangerous and this and this.
And, like, I know, like, he's...
So we've been talking about this person for a while, like how he has, like, 2 eyes and, like, a nose.
And, like, he has a face and, like,
this and this.
like, he stands and, like, he you know, he moves. And the way he moves is, like, bad or something. And
He says... It's just, like, the way he moves and around and stuff is, like, bad, I think.
And I think it's, like, you know, he says sentences, and sometimes those sentences are, like, not good.
They're not good sentences. But then sometimes, and he uses words.
And stuff.
And stuff. And, you know, stuff and stuff.
And, like, things and stuff and people.
So, like, and we've been talking about it for a long time, is the stuff and the things, the stuff that he does. And he's a man, and he does things.
Yeah.
So.
I really enjoy that nobody has given Joy Behar any pushback on her magnificent comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's the best part of this when you want to move forward.
Yeah, move forward.
Oh boy.
Move forward. Move on to hilarious take number 2.
So the next thing that happened in recent history here is Dave Chappelle got tackled by that audience member at the Netflix as a Joke Comedy Festival.
Was the guy who attacked Dave Chappelle, was he a trans dude, or was he, like, just in support of that kind of stuff and was making
neither. I think he was just.
Really.
I think it was a mentally. From when I did the research on it, he was just a mentally unstable guy who was going through stuff and wanted the, like, attention to draw attention to, like, what he's been going on in his life.
So he thought, this is gonna be, like, my moment.
Well, he's mentally unwell too.
Right,
so
right.
yes, but, like,
Gotcha.
Something along those lines. And then, but he also had a knife on him that was, like, fashioned like a gun.
A knife gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
But I don't. There's nothing pointing to the fact that he intended to use it. He didn't pull it out. He just had it on him. I think it was just a mentally unwell person. But regardless, as I said earlier, like, if you're gonna jump a comedian, if you're gonna go tackle a comedian,
at least bring a knife gun.
Okay, well, he did.
I'm just kidding.
But if you're gonna jump a comedian, don't jump the comedian who brings, like, his crew with him, like his big
an entire
buff.
entourage.
Yeah, he has an entire, like, pretty physically fit crew of dudes. Yeah, I would pick. Why not? I don't know why not Colin Jost? Colin Jost isn't coming around with his
he probably
crew.
doesn't have an entourage.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, maybe Scarlett Johansson, she learned all those moves from the Black Widow movies. Like, she can take him out like a super Russian spy.
She teaches him every day.
Yeah, she's like a Marvel superhero. This is my...
Swipe the feet.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, he goes up on stage, tackles, or hardly tackle. He doesn't really tackle him. He kind of misses him, and then they all take him backstage and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. So he attempted to tackle Dave Chappelle, failed in the attempt, and then Dave Chappelle's entourage taught him a valuable lesson about why you don't do this.
Why you don't attack comedians. Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Cool. And then Chris Rock came out and said, "Was that Will Smith?" Which is hilarious. Perfect joke.
And so now this is the Views take.
Oh yeah, this is the Views take on Dave Chappelle being tackled by an audience member.
Last night at the Hollywood Bowl, comedian Dave Chappelle became the latest performer who had to deal with somebody storming the stage and attacking him. We're happy to report that he was not hurt. And Chris Rock, who was also performing earlier that night, came back on stage for a quick encore. Take a look.
Was that Will Smith?
Okay, now get to what you're going to say about it.
All kidding aside, I have to get the smile off my face. It made me laugh. What do you think is happening? I mean, it's happening on airplanes. It's happening on street corners. People are just running. I mean, the Hollywood.
It's happening on airplanes? People are attacking other people?
I think on airplanes, people are attacking comedians. If you're joking, if you're on an airplane.
People are attacking Dave Chappelle on airplanes. People are attacking Dave Chappelle in the street.
Like, Dave Chappelle can't go anywhere without being attacked.
I mean, just ran up on there.
Things that could contribute to what's going on: the pandemic, the opioid crisis, the fact that Trump was out there saying things like, "Just knock the hell out of them. I promise you, I'll pay for the legal fees," when he had a heckler. I mean, there.
So again, Joy Behar, spot on. The opioid.
Joy Behar, it might be the best one. Is she? We're gonna learn that.
She's a genius.
Yeah, she's gonna be the best one.
This woman is like 5 miles ahead of the rest of us. She just knows things.
It's like, well, when Trump got up at the rally, he said, "Run up on stage and tackle Dave Chappelle." You remember?
In fact, I think when I watched that video, and you can play it back, I'm pretty sure that was Trump running on that stage, smacking the shit out of Dave Chappelle.
Was that Donald Trump up there? I couldn't tell, but I'm pretty sure it was.
And the opioid crisis, because we know that people on opioids, they have a lot of energy. They have a lot of energy to attack other people.
It's just not a surprise that something like this would happen. You got the pandemic, you got the opioid crisis, you got Trump, you got canned peas, you got you got this morning I stubbed my toe, you got 3 kids and 2 jobs.
Look, if there's one thing I know about fentanyl, it's that it doesn't make you just pass out for days. It makes you want to run up on a stage and smack a celebrity.
Oh, man. You got this heroin, this sweet, sweet heroin that I do every morning. Oh, man. You got taxes. Taxes might have been a big contributor. Did we check and see if this man had paid his taxes? I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas here.
I heard they're putting hormones in chicken.
This might be one of those, and it could have been fried chicken, but I don't want to speculate.
I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate.
There are many factors involved here, and then Will Smith was like the pièce de résistance, as it were. But by the way, don't you love comedians? Look at how they handled it. It was great. Give that boy a hand.
Give those boys a hand. She's like, don't you love comedians? They've shit on comedians several times on this show. And I'm pretty sure when the original Dave Chappelle thing came out, they shit on him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Like the closer came out?
Oh, yes. These people are just like...
we love comedy here?
Yep. They go whichever way the wind is blowing. And right now, it was blowing in the way of Dave Chappelle. So they're like, we like him now.
Yeah, well, they're a little moody, and you know why.
It's the time of the month.
They've all synced up. They've synced up to a powerful degree where it's always that time of the month. It never ends. For them.
The month is eternal. And
the month is eternal.
The month is eternal, and they've harnessed the energy of the moon.
Oh, yeah, they're witches.
Yeah.
This is a coven of witches.
This is a coven of witches. They've harnessed the energy of the moon.
Yes.
And if Elon Musk was smart, he could use that energy to then put into, electric vehicles.
Powered by the women of The View.
Powered by the women of The View.
It just sucks the juices out of their bodies, and they just shrivel up.
Well, they never shrivel up because the moon, they're remember.
Yes.
The cycle is eternal, and they're constantly harnessing that moon power.
So they just harness the moon power, and they go shimbo, wimbo, wembo, wimbo, and it just gives the energy to the car that can then drive for months and months on the witch power.
Yeah, and if
shimbo,
and what
wimbo,
they need
wembo,
is
wimbo, shimbo, wimbo, wembo, wimbo.
Yep, shimbo, wimbo, wambo, wimbo. and if Elon Musk had like a tube that he could attach to the women of The View's anuses to pull out the power. I mean...
Yeah.
we would be in the next century. Our climate change problems would be solved.
Well, okay, that was that one, right? That was the clip of her comparing.
So Trump caused the Dave Chappelle attack.
That's absolutely correct.
Which is true.
It's correct. It's just
true. It's just
fact.
plain facts.
It's just fact.
It's honestly, at this point, if a comedian gets attacked, you should just, the first thought, go, yeah, probably Trump.
Now, here's
Trump was there, he did it.
Yeah, anything that goes wrong is Trump's fault.
Yeah.
All right, well here's even more.
This is a really good take. This is Joy Behar defending her Halloween costume choices.
Oh, that's right.
And having a really great interaction with actress Lupita Nyong'o. I think.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
I really think Joy Behar makes a lot of great commentary here.
Talk to the point, please.
Is this Joy speaking?
The guy lied.
Same Joy? The same Joy that paraded around in blackface?
Is that you, Joy? Oh, this picture, that is me.
My word. Come on, Joy. I don't think you should be asking these questions.
It was a Halloween party. I went as a beautiful African woman.
Oh, yeah. I am.
Excuse me.
So they're for the listeners here, they're showing photos of her going to a party as an African woman, which is so funny because usually you go like as a
specific
African
person.
woman. Yeah,
You're like I went as Mr. T.
Yes.
Or I went as like I'm going as I don't know, Martin Luther King.
Yes. And still probably shouldn't do that. Shouldn't darken your skin for a costume. But your thing is, I just went as a
generic
African woman. Just went as an African woman.
And now she's being called out by, I believe, this
Imagine
woman.
going to the office and being like, and what are you and what are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm a black guy. I'm
just a black guy.
I'm just a black guy.
Black guy.
Like you're not dressed up as a specific black guy? Oh, no. I'm playing...
I'm just black guy.
Yeah, my costume is black guy.
You know? Like, hey, look at me.
Hello.
I exist.
My skin's a little darker. Did you notice?
But she's being confronted about it by, I think this woman was running on like a Republican ticket for Congress.
I see.
Excuse me, the black community had my back.
You ain't black.
We love it. She asked, like, her one black friend is like, "Is this okay?" And
it was Whoopi.
It was Whoopi. Yeah, and Whoopi.
She's like, "Whoopi, was my costume okay?" And Whoopi was like,
"Whoopi just goes,
Whoopi was like, I don't know, I guess.
No, I don't know. I gotta get out of here. Oh, I'm gonna have an emergency.
They know that
The black
was
community
not
has my
blackface. That
back.
was an homage.
That is me. Did you have tanning lotion on, Joy? A little. I had makeup that was a little bit darker than my skin.
I've been an outspoken voice in the changing conversation about beauty also. At the Miss Universe pageant on Sunday, the winner, Sosi Bini Tunzi. I said that right? I grew up in a world.
So the winner was African. Am I saying this right?
You know, did I say that right in your little language?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Did I say that right?
Jesus,
you know
that's
her.
rough.
You know her. You friends?
Am I saying that right?
You guys grew up in the same village? Huh?
Yeah. It's like, why not ask anybody else on the panel? Why not ask, is that Meghan McCain?
Yeah. I'm sure Meghan McCain would know the correct pronunciation.
Yes, it's Tubi Ambadubi.
It's Tubi Ambadubi, and we bombed that place. My daddy bombed that place. My daddy bombed the frick out of that place.
Where a woman who looks like me with my kind of skin and my kind of hair was never considered beautiful. So, do her words resonate with you at all? Let's not forget.
Here's another black person here. Now, what do you think about, everything they say and do?
Because obviously you feel the same exact way.
You two are, you both.
Speaking of somebody who's never felt beautiful, what do you think?
So, you both are, well, And because you're like that, you know, you might think the same things and behave the same way. Jesus. But that's not racism.
No, the black community had my back when I ask you that.
They had my back.
It's an homage.
Right, Whoopi?
It's an homage.
Yeah, it's an homage. Oh, no, I gotta go. It's me, Whoopi.
Oopsie, I made a whoopie.
Oopsie. Oh, no.
That Trump has been accused by multiple women, over 15, of sexual assault. We're in the middle of this Tara Reid accusing Biden of sexual assault. Are we supposed to believe her just because she's a woman? To me, if you say, I believe any woman who makes any accusation, if you say that, I think it minimizes our credibility as women.
I agree. It does minimize your credibility as women.
And you know what? I also agree that if a woman accuses Trump, we should take that absolutely seriously. But if a woman accuses Biden, we should question it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Biden,
you can't just believe every woman.
Yeah, you can't just believe every woman when it comes to Biden, because Biden is, you know.
But when it comes to Trump, you could believe every woman.
You can believe him, because Trump is garbage, and Biden is pretty much, you know, on, like, sainthood level.
Very strange. Very, very strange.
I mean, I feel as though it can be used as a political cudgel against a political rival. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. You don't... Yeah. And like I said, the best takes on The View, that's the most truth I've heard so far. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Absolutely. She's corrected everything she said there.
Well, we should hear women jump and believe before we know.
Yeah, but the problem with that, Abby, is that sometimes there is not always forensic evidence in these cases.
All I'm saying is you don't or ipso facto believe something just because they make an accusation.
I'm not a believe all women person. I never have been. I'm very consistent on this.
People know him and they know
I'm very consistent on this. I don't believe any women.
I've never believed a woman. I only believe men.
I only believe daddy.
I only believe my daddy.
And they know that he screwed up with Anita Hill, and they know that he's touchy-feely and he didn't mean it.
And he didn't mean it.
He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
Wow.
He didn't mean it. Look, everybody knows he didn't mean it. He was just, you know, he just likes the smell of shampoo. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Byron.
Everyone knows Byron likes the smelly shampoo.
Everybody knows Biden likes to smell shampoo. It's common knowledge. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Biden likes the scent of a small child's head.
He just likes Suave for children. He just happens to like the children's fragrances inside of their shampoos. He doesn't like the adult ones. He likes to sniff the children ones.
Sometimes we go to the grocery store and we find him down the shampoo aisle just sniffing the children's bottles. Just there for hours.
He's sniffing away.
We got to pull him away.
Get away from there. Get on out of there, Biden. Get on out of there. Get away from there shampoo bottles, Biden.
Oh, I love this so much. All of this hilarious.
All right, here we go. So what is this about?
This is the women of The View discussing the English language and how there are some words that need to be changed. They need to be changed because, well, you'll see why they need to be changed.
Interesting.
You know, we talk about Broadway from time to time on this show, and I have a pitch that was made to me by a friend of Tom's, and it really has to do with what we need to probably stop calling Broadway. Maybe we can stop calling it the Great White Way and replace it with the Great Bright Way. And that will allow everyone
what made
to...
It white? I'm sorry, so I'm not following that either. I don't know what that means. Is that what Broadway's called?
That's what Broadway has been called, the Great White Way. And I suspect it comes because of the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I've never heard that ever. The Great White Way?
Is she getting it confused with the Central one of the central elements of the fabulous novel Moby Dick, the Great White Whale?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Or do we just not know Broadway or New York that well?
Honestly, I don't know Broadway all that well.
Yeah.
So perhaps it is. Perhaps this is a nickname for Broadway. But it's probably not one that the average everyday person is familiar with.
Yeah, it's probably something no one gives a shit about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I love the reaction to this is, what is that? I've never heard
Well,
that.
I love it that Meghan McCain is like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
Nobody uses that. I've never heard of that. What are you talking about? And the other two people, Joy Behar and Sunny, whatever her name is, are both like, I know exactly. That is what it's called.
Mm-hmm. It's white. It's white for sure. It's white. It's always white.
It's white.
No, that's Whoopi. When she says white, you just agree.
You agree.
You just agree. That's what you do. There's a lot of this on The View.
A lot of smacks, a lot of lip smacks on The View.
Yeah.
Bulbs. Yeah, because of the bulbs in all of the signs. So and his suggestion is, why don't we stop calling it the Great White Way and call it the Great Bright Way? I thought it was really wonderful and a good shift and a good change.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
I like that, Whoopi. And, it's interesting that a lot of the English language has to be rethought. Blackmailing is negative. Black sheep is negative. I can think of a few others if I have the time, but those words are kind of like embedded in our psyches and maybe need to be changed. Why is a black...
Yeah, like a black crayon. We can't really call it a black crayon anymore.
The game Blackjack, obviously, that has negative connotations.
Can't play that. That Beatles album, Get Black. Oh, that's Get Back. Oh, never mind.
I would say the Great Pirate Blackbeard. We need to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Just call him Beard.
We gotta stop saying black. We gotta probably just stop saying black.
The phone, Blackberry. We should change it to Blueberry.
It's gotta be a blueberry. Paint it black. Why not paint it yellow? Any other color?
No, we can't paint it yellow either. That's also bad. That's also bad. That's bad.
Why not paint it bright?
Yeah, paint it bright. That sounds really nice. Oh,
man.
But I also like that the only person who heard those words and thought, yeah, these have negative, horrible connotations that are racist.
Yeah.
Is her.
Yeah. Oh, she goes.
Like, that's a fully, you are putting that on it yourself.
Yeah. Like black sheep, because they're black people.
Because, everybody's thinking it.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one thinking it here.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
She's like looking at all the other women like, you guys are thinking it too.
Right? We got to get rid of this word. Because I can't stop saying it.
I can't stop saying it. I look at a person I see on the street and I immediately am like, you damn black sheep.
She doesn't know what it means. She's like, did you hear about Joyce's kid? He came out a black sheep. But her husband's white. I don't understand.
Did you hear about those people down at the casinos playing blackjack?
Oh.
Disgusting.
Jesus. I wish they'd play whitejack. I just wish for once.
Why can't they just play a nice, honest game of whitejacks, huh?
Sheep, well, we can't. A bad thing, and a white sheep is a good thing. Why? They're just sheep.
Well, it's not the words. It's not the words. It's the way we think about it. There's nothing wrong with black cats or black sheeps or black people. There we have it. I just think about it.
Joy Behar goes,
what? Why are white sheep good and black sheep bad?
Whoopi is correct that it's not about the words, it's about the way we think about them, and there's nothing inherently bad about a black sheep or a black person.
It's also like a complete misunderstanding of what a black sheep is. It's that it's not that the black sheep is bad, it's that the black sheep is different from the rest of the white sheep.
Exactly.
It's
correct.
In sheep populations, a black sheep is technically an anomaly because most sheep tend to be white.
Correct.
And it has nothing to do with race.
Different from the flock.
Right, and it has nothing to do with race because sheep don't have race. They're sheep.
Well, the new the new schools of thought would say that that's actually inherently it's a subconscious thing, that the reason why we call it black sheep, even though it's because it stands out from the crowd, is because we're actually assigning our racism to that as we say it. And
yes, because farm animals, we all know they're white supremacists at heart.
That's correct. It's all founded. Sheep are founded in white supremacy. They're basically created.
When they say bad, they're really saying the N-word.
Every time you hear a sheep baa, just know that's the N-word.
And that's why you shouldn't go to petting zoos and give them any food.
That's why they spit at you too. I don't know if you've ever been to a petting zoo, but fun fact, they spit on black people way more often than they spit on white people. It's just true. It's just true. Look it up.
Facts.
I got this fact from The View.
And if you're not sure, ask Joy Behar. She'll agree.
She'll agree. She'll tell you it's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Coming up next is The View talking about avoiding political talk this Thanksgiving.
Politics apparently is a topic most Americans want to keep off the table this Thanksgiving, according to a Quinnipiac poll. Yeah. They found that 66% of adults want to avoid...
She definitely squeezed a fart out when she said Quinnipiac. Did you see that? Look at this.
Thanksgiving, according to a Quinnipiac poll.
Let's try this one more time here. I'll do it.
I want to keep off the table this Thanksgiving, according to a Quinnipiac poll. They found that 66%, according to a Quinnipiac poll, they found that 66% of adults want to avoid...
Man, she had to slip one in there, huh? Oh, man. I'm sorry if you're listening and not watching, but... She really looks like she squeezed one out there. All right, we'll keep playing here.
Off the table this Thanksgiving, according to a Quinnipiac poll. They found that 66% of adults want to avoid the subject altogether. And the question is, will that be tricky? I don't think it will be, because I think people will be so glad to see all the family and all the stuff and go through all the kids and all the grandma, how you doing, all of that stuff, that the...
I love, this is a common thing on The View. When they're giving examples of things, they just run out. And I do the same thing, to be fair. Sometimes it's hard to come up with a lot of examples, but, running through the kids and you giving the hellos and Come on, brain, start anytime soon. Where was I going?
Way to do it is at the end of the meal. When everybody's sitting, stomach hanging on the side. Somebody will say, well, I don't know about all this gas.
Did she say, I don't know about all this gas?
She did.
What is she talking about?
Somebody will say, well, I don't know about all this gas.
Well, that's when she was giving examples about the Thanksgiving dinner, but then she just had a lucid moment of how she's feeling right then and there in the studio.
Yeah. What in the world?
And you have to say, well, if you're worried about gas, get a plug-in car. And then...
Okay, so she's talking about gas prices. Who when talking about gas prices goes, I'm worried about gas?
Well, I mean, based on the evidence here, I would say Whoopi's gotten...
Wow, look at this. I mean, she's wafting another one out. She's got some gas problems. Whoopi, we've discovered, has some gas problems. Damn.
Maybe
is that a thing on the cycle? Is that a thing when you're
you get gassy?
Do you get gassy on your period?
Hey, every woman is different. Everybody experiences.
Everybody woman's differently.
Everybody woman's differently. Everybody experiences that time of the month in a different way. And for Whoopi, maybe she gets gassy.
A little tooty.
She gets a little tutti frutti. She gets a little tooty in her booty.
Wow. All right.
Zip out the door. Say, see you next year. And that will take care of everything.
Well, I like to talk.
So if you want to talk about politics, wait until the end. Shove your thing in and then run.
Well, it's kind of the same policy for if you let out a fart. It's you wait until the end.
Yeah.
Let that fart rip.
Well, it's been lovely. All right, I'll see y'all later. All right, see y'all later. Thank you. This is reminding me of my old family Thanksgivings. I'm just like, well, dinner was lovely. Thank you. All right, I'll see y'all later now. I'll talk to y'all later. Give the kids a hug and kiss for me.
Bye-bye now. I got to change my shorts.
Bye-bye now. No, I'll ship my bridges. I got to get out of here now. I got spare pants in the truck. Oh, man.
But keep it going. Keep it going.
I loved your corn this year. It tastes... Oh, shit. I done shit my bridges. That's what kind of podcast we are.
Yeah.
That was a lovely pumpkin pie. Oh, no. I pooped my pants. Wah, wah. What a good pie. I hope we have a lot of listeners.
Politics at the.
That's surprising.
I'm interested in the subject. They always say don't talk politics or religion. What's more important than those? Those are interesting topics.
Yeah.
What are you going to ask Grandma if she's still ovulating? I mean, these are. You need to come up.
Every sign points to these women are currently synced up on their periods when they say wild things. They just give these little hints, having the cramps and bringing up their periods. It's something's going on.
Something's definitely going on. I also like that the only two options you can have are talk about politics and religion and things that, are going to be tense and divisive, or ask your grandma some personally intrusive questions.
Yeah, ask her about her menstrual cramps. And your grandma goes, I haven't had a period in 25 years.
As I've told you the last 17 Thanksgivings, I've gone through menopause, you stupid bitch.
You stupid bitch. Now get back to talking about the Jews. I like talking about the damn Jews.
Did somebody let out a fart?
Who's been farting at the Thanksgiving dinner table? Don't appreciate it. I slaved over this cooking for 15 hours just to have all y'all farting it up in here in my damn kitchen. Y'all disrespectful. I'm coming here disrespecting my kitchen with a damn toots. All I want to do is talk about the Jews. You gonna come on here and ask me about my periods and remind me that I ain't got nothing to live for no more. All right.
With something. And may I suggest, I'd like to suggest...
Well, some grandmas might still be ovulating.
I would like to suggest that everybody out there, come out to your family this Thanksgiving. Just
What if I'm not gay?
You still come out. You come out. Even if you're not gay, you come out. You find something to come out about.
I suggest everyone go home for Thanksgiving and start a fight.
I suggest when you sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, turn to the person on your left and give them a good old punch in the nose.
I am still one of those, like, don't talk about politics and religion at the dinner table. Yeah. Like, I think it is, like, you're there to be with your family and be thankful for one another, not to, like, poke each other's fucking buttons and be right about something. And that's all ego. If that's what if that's what your intention is at the dinner table, if you are one of those people that, like, you have to, like, start something, that's 100% ego. I have to prove that I fucking know something that they don't, and they need to understand. It's like that's an ego drive. Just be with your family, be thankful to be with them.
It's
now
also like
that it's harder when one person in the group is also wants to talk politics and fights you and pokes your buttons or like eggs you on. So it's harder if you have someone else in the family that starts it as well. To get them to stop as well is really, really difficult.
Yep.
So I think it sucks to like, I can't imagine being in a family that does that. My family, our thing is just make each other laugh and that's it. And sometimes it's deeply offensive. And I'm sure somebody at some point, if they were visiting my family, would be deeply offended by the way that we joke. But I think it's all loving and it's all about making each other laugh and being there, even if it is, let's go around the table this Christmas and talk about what would we bring to Black Christmas.
Yeah. I also think if you're the type of person who your like sole purpose is to start drama with your family, it's like at the end of the day, the people who are going to be there for you when like everybody else fails is your family because you're bound by blood. Yeah. And it's like, but this is the generation of fuck your family, give it like just fucking get rid of them or forget about your family or abandon your family. A bunch of people our age have done that, and I know, and I hate that. I think it's so wrong. Yeah, I think it's so wrong. And it's when I think about like
makes you, I don't know, it feels like you're a traitor. Like
really,
the people that like raised you and brought you to who you are today, and maybe they did a shitty job of that. But everybody's parents do a shitty job in some area somewhere, and it fucks you up. You have to be able to overcome that, and you can't hold a grudge against your own family that you then punish them with. You can't see me forever, and I constantly, because then what happens when you need somebody and you've lost everyone? Family's the last fucking thing that you have,
and it lacks a lot of gratitude because there are people in the world who unfortunately are not given a good end of the stick where they get a family who has their back. There's a lot of people who have families who are incredibly abusive and do terrible, terrible, terrible things. Yes. And so to be a person who has a family that maybe you disagree ideologically, but at the end of the day is going to have your back. Yeah. Like, it's so ungrateful. Oh, and it's a smack in the face to all those people who don't get to have that luxury of a family who's there for them. Yeah. And when I think of, like, some of the worst, like, authoritarian regimes in the world, like, a lot of them use the tactic of separate the child from the family. Like, Pol Pot in, like, when the Khmer Rouge... had the genocide in Cambodia, one of the primary tactics was get the kids to turn against their parents. And it was like having the kids rat on if their parents were, disobeying certain government or, mandates and things like that. And
well, God knows in certain political circles currently, that's definitely going on, especially in like college campus circles and the improv. I mean, I would say probably 50% of the improv community in Chicago are people living at a place paid for by their parents, but they actively don't talk to their parents and talk shit up to all of their friends about how fucking awful their parents are.
Yeah, I just like, it really grinds my gears because I know that there's a ton of people.
But my parents are abusive. They yelled at me once.
That's not, no. Yeah. You can work through that. You can work through having been yelled at.
You can work through even way worse than that. You can work through the worst of the worst with your family, and that's all you have. Yep. And so like,
and there are some people who like truly, truly terrible, abusive parents who do horrible, horrible things that, yes, you should probably distance yourself from those people, and they probably don't deserve forgiveness on that level.
But that's not what's happening right now.
No, it's people who they've been slighted in...
My dad kicked me out because I'm pansexual.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I doubt they get kicked out. It's just my dad told me I told him I was pansexual. He said, "What's that?" Can you believe he said that? Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, it's stuff like that that really like it just irks me because it's very ungrateful.
That sounds like an exaggeration. I've heard things like that. I've heard things like that from people our age often.
Often. I just think it's
small
wrong.
slights that they're like, can you believe how terrible of a thing that is for them to say? They cancel their parents over Twitter kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I just
and most parents are older and are a little culturally insensitive.
Yep.
Like, so things weren't the way they are now when they were growing up. So they say the wrong thing sometimes.
Right. The thing that's part of your youth culture was not the same things that were part of your parents' youth culture. And they just, like, they're not going to understand and grasp it as quickly. Give them time. They're still going to, like, at the end of the day, you're still their kid.
Yeah.
It's not like they might not understand it. They might not accept it. But at the end of the day, you're still their kid. You're bound by blood.
Yeah.
And they probably will support you.
Yeah. Well, all I know is this year at Thanksgiving, I want to talk about The View.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you should talk about at the dinner table at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah.
Come out.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Be your
I'm just
authentic
curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Come out the door?
No, come out.
Come out. What do you mean?
Come out gay. If you're
So
gay,
from gas
come out.
to gay, I can't follow this conversation.
Meaning be your
Welcome to
authentic
The View.
Be yourself. Life is,
Be your authentic self.
I'm old enough now. I know that life is short because
So I'm gay. That's her thing. I'm old enough now. I think it's about time to say this. I'm gay, everyone.
I think you should come out even if you're not gay, come out. If you're gay, come out. Even if you're not ready to come out, I think you should come out.
So what's What's really funny about this is it started as the majority of Americans are saying that they're having trouble avoiding political talk at Thanksgiving. They would like to avoid talking about politics. And Joy Behar's response is, I think we should all talk about politics. Tell your parents you're gay. I think when Tim Dillon says he would be right for this show, I agree. I think he would be right for this show. Tim Dillon these women are all Tim Dillon.
Yeah, in some capacity, yeah.
Come out to your parents.
went by like that.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
Go to a complete stranger's house who isn't even your own family. Come out to them. just walk in the door.
Go to your neighbor's house. Tell them you're gay.
Walk into your neighbor's house completely uninvited. Look them in the eye and say, I'm gay. And then zip out the door.
Tell your grandpa you're gay while you're fingering his asshole. Oh, my God.
I can still keep yakking.
Right.
Yeah. But I say that you should.
If I were to go to Thanksgiving and say and tell my family, Mom, Dad, I have a big announcement. I know that I'm engaged to a lovely lady here, but it turns out that I am gay. My mom would 100% go, I knew it. I knew it. I told y'all.
Be yourself. Yeah. This is my philosophy in life. I've had 25 years. I'm always the same. Annoying as I am.
You're only 25?
So my whole thing is you come out and be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you what
does this have to do with the topic? I think she said it as a way to be like, go ahead and talk politics at the table. Don't be afraid to poke buttons. But then they all turned to her and went, what are you talking about? And she has to be, just be proud to be yourself, Come out because you're gay, everybody, and if one black person dresses up for Halloween, and you would know, you know a name, and you run up with the kids, and you're running around. Oh, what was it?
No, here's what happened. The producers of the show before it started, they're like, okay, here's the Joy, here's the segment we're going to do. We're going to do a thing on Thanksgiving dinner and the topics we should, talk about and the things we should avoid, politics stuff. And she went, oh, you mean the gays? And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. Run with it. And so that's what's occurring.
Yeah.
this will be our family's first year without Manny's parents, and they were just such a big part of our. It's going to be a very hard year for us, but.
Who cares?
I do think that life is so short.
I don't know. Maybe that's a sad
things come
story.
at you so unexpectedly, and I do think you have to be authentic. You have to embrace these moments, embrace your family, and I think you discuss what you want to discuss. Yeah. I really do. This is one of
the few times where I feel like Sunny is trying to kind of pull the things together here.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, things went off the rails. I'm gonna try and make sense of this nonsense for a second.
Wow.
And she's not normally the voice of reason, but in this instance, she's like, all right, let's bring this back to reality.
Can we please? Wow.
We went into crazy town. Let's bring it back.
Cool. Does this get right here?
I think that's good there. I think that's good. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, what is this?
Well, this is what I think is one of the most brilliant takes on what women should do after learning about the potential that Roe v. Wade might be overturned.
Oh, that's right.
I think The View have an amazingly well thought out.
This is a good take.
A plan.
This is one of their.
This is a good plan of action.
Quality good takes. Here.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
I was talking yesterday about how this is a slippery slope, that these people, if they're in charge with the presidency and the Senate and the House, it's going
and
to
the
be
kids running around, and you got the
Senate and the House,
and I was dressed like an African
and there's
woman,
a president, and it was an homage.
That's what it was,
and Thanksgiving, and there's
and
things.
you're coming out to your family,
yeah, and
and the president, and it was Trump,
and people.
Dave Chappelle gets attacked.
Disaster. Yeah. And then I came upon this Republican Senator, Mike Braun from Indiana, who said that he'd be open to overturning Loving versus Virginia, which legalized interracial marriages in 1967.
Okay.
What did I say yesterday? I said, before you know it, the whites won't. Oh, shit. I done shit my bridges down. Oh, man. This is wild.
It's like I said when I started that movie, The Color Purple. I shit my britches.
Oh, shit. This is a very poop-heavy episode. Instead of The View, it should just be called The Poo. Is that the name of this episode? The Poo?
Yeah.
And when he was at a press conference, he said he would be okay with the Supreme Court having the issue of interracial marriages to the states, leaving it to the states.
Right.
So don't think this is just a war on women. It could be a war on people of color and gay people. And also, he said, he backtracked that. He said he misunderstood the question, but he had agreed with his own statement 10 times, or so before. Well, so I don't...
He disagreed with it. Eventually, he did say that he actually didn't mean what he said. But the kids, they're running around. You got you coming out to your grandma who is going through menstrual cramps.
Look, he eventually realized that his take was terrible. But you know what? We don't go with what people learn after the facts. We go with their first instincts. And his first take, terrible.
And he's, eventually he said, sorry, that's not what I mean, and I didn't mean to say any of that, but he said it.
And I just want to say, the gays. The gays. Let me bring that back up. This could affect the gays.
Folks, you gotta come out.
You gotta come out. You gotta come out.
That's a lot of
the other point I want to make, because I just want to say this, is that
your grandma could be having menstrual cramps. You never know, and then you gotta ask her.
Yeah, you gotta ask her, and this is gonna affect your grandma. if there's one thing I know, it's
your grandma can't have abortions anymore.
Women in the world have conducted sex strikes in history. In 2003, a sex strike helped to end Liberia's brutal civil war. Yes, and the woman who started it was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. In 2009, Kenyan women enforced a sex ban until political infighting ceased. Within 1 week, there was a stable government. Okay, so we have more power.
So what they fail to realize. Why don't you take this one? I know that you realize what they fail to realize here, right?
No, I think this is a brilliant plan.
Great plan.
I think the way
they've taken abortion away from
if they take abortion away from you,
yes,
then we won't have sex.
Yes, and then
I guess we won't have a need for abortion.
So
do we win or they win? And that's the brilliance of it.
Absolutely.
That's the brilliance. You don't know who's the winner. We're all winners.
It's win-win, really. It's win-win.
It's win-win.
Because abortions aren't occurring, and also no one has to fuck these terrible women.
but let's be real here. This is kind of like those people at Lent who are like, for Lent, I'm giving up negativity.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the thing that I could do that would require the least amount of work? And in the case of the women on The View, it's having sex with male people.
Oh, my God.
Because if there's one thing I can tell just by looking at these women, it's that they are dry as the Sahara Desert.
Oh, that guarantee they all have husbands. Is Whoopi a lesbian?
You know, that's a good question. I think so. I believe so.
Well, the rest of them all have husbands who are all fucking younger women. 110%. Guaranteed. It's got to be true.
It's the trade-off for allowing their women to be on The View.
Yes, that's right. It's in the contract.
It's the writer.
And some of it could be right in the bedroom. Just saying.
A sex strike.
And what a perfect
that can be quite
method
effective.
And weapon for the exact topic we're talking about.
The other thing
Not exactly. It's kind of the worst possible tactic and weapon.
Literally, if you want to make a case for like, we need abortions, I don't know. That's when you were like, you know what we need to do? We need to have sex and a marathon of it.
Yeah.
We are not going to stop until women are having 12, 13, 14 babies in a row.
Exactly. That would be punishment. That makes sense. That would be, okay, maybe we need some abortions. These women are getting pregnant too often.
And we're going to have these wild sex orgies right on the lawn of Nancy Pelosi. like that's the kind of thing that would get their attention.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is. We talked about this a lot, but I don't want to get too deep into the abortion issue here. But I keep saying, and I truly believe this, that it always comes down to cum. Mm-hmm. This argument always comes down to, it's about cum. This issue is about cum, okay? It's when is it cum? When is it a baby? And when am I playing around with cum?
And when can I get it and
when
where?
When can I get it and where? And then they never want to talk about it too,
and
right?
how much can I get?
So like, you know, I have my opinions on it, but for the most part, it feels like the argument never involves like the agency of the woman who got pregnant. It's always posed as though every woman needs to have an abortion, and it also kind of seems like
every woman needs to be filled with a cup of hot cum.
It's like pregnancy just comes out of nowhere. It's like pregnancy is just this thing that happens to all of us. It's just completely random, and you know, none of my decisions have anything to do with my pregnancy. Mm-hmm, you know, It's like I have the American right as a citizen to fill my cunt with as much cum as I possibly want, and I also have the right to have zero circumstances from doing so. And you know, there's so many options. You could always pull out. You could always, you know, drink that cum. You could get that cum in the butt. You could, you know, shoot the cum at the wall. You know, freaking, you know, I don't flush the cum down the toilet. It's like there's so many things to do with cum.
You know what?
It's like
Joy Behar should have said, you know what you should do
at Thanksgiving
to fight this. Fight this is come out.
Pull out.
Come out.
But it's like I don't know, and then like not that I don't necessarily agree with like banning all abortion. I don't think it's too bad of an idea to give states the right to decide whether or not they would like one. I think that's the whole point of the country is for us all to kind of be allowed to decide what we want through vote. And if
I think you and I have a pretty like our perspective on it is probably a pretty libertarian one, where it's sort of like, I don't necessarily know that it's something that I personally would choose to do. I feel like there's some bad juju there, and it's not for me, and I don't feel right about it. But who am I to tell you what to do? I think that's something you got to work out with the higher powers in the universe if that's your choice.
Right, absolutely.
But I agree with you. I don't necessarily know that it's the worst thing in the world to let the states decide what the majority of people in that state would like. And if the majority of people in your state are not for it, then that's what your state does.
Yeah.
And I think most of the blue states, they're not going to change.
Yeah,
they're not going to change. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
The thing is that the red states might get more restrictive, and unfortunately, if maybe you're on the more liberal side of things in a red state, this might be an inconvenience to you.
But should it be your main source of birth control? Should abortion be like the way that you have birth control?
No. No. I don't think it should be promoted as
every
primary
female
birth control.
Every female comedian here in Chicago starts her set with, "Guess how many abortions I've had? 13."
Oh yeah, that's
I've had 12 abortions. Isn't that awesome?
You can
most of the set is like, "I'm pretty gross. Here's the things that make me gross." And the audience goes, "Yeah! I love how gross you are. You're really sticking it to the man by having smelly armpit hair and having had 13 abortions, and you threw your menstrual cup on Donald Trump's Walk of Fame or Hollywood star Walk of Fame."
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Super smashing the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great.
Yeah, real good. Can you stand a few feet away from me, please?
Stand a few feet away from me, but good for you. Good for you.
Good for you.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I don't think it should be...
This is how gross I am. I go to Thanksgiving dinner and I fart up a storm.
I walk into Thanksgiving, I let out a fart, and then I zip out the door.
Well, it's been lovely. Bye.
No, here's the thing. I don't think it should be promoted as a primary means of birth control.
Yes.
I also think that a lot of the people who really are gung-ho about fighting for that cause kind of do so under the the vein of it's for women's health. This is to protect women's health. This is what we need. But I think they leave out an important aspect, which is that it can have a serious impact on women's mental health to go through that, and that it's a really difficult thing to choose to do. And the people who do go through
it's become
with that,
really trivialized too.
Right. And the sort of like glorification and like kind of blasé attitude, I think are incredibly the wrong the wrong attitude to have if you really care about women's health. Because if you care about women's health, then mental health is an important aspect of that. And you have to be real about, okay, if you do this, you know that this is, can be quite an ordeal to go through. And the reality is that this is very difficult.
Yeah,
and it's not something
decision
to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's kind of promoted enough. I also think on the opposite end of the spectrum, the people who are really gung-ho about pro-life things don't do enough to go, okay, well, if we're not going to give women the option for doing this, then we need to give them support, particularly for young women, for pregnant young women. We need to give them the resources and support so that they can be financially successful and still have that child.
Yep.
And there's not enough of that. There's not enough of pro-life organizations helping fund pregnancy centers in, schools or colleges where I think when statistically you look at the reasons why women go the route of abortion is because they feel scared about not being financially, or, they don't feel like they're in a place where they can be successful and raise a child at the same time. And it's like, if they had the resources to be able to do both, then that would probably help a lot of people out and prevent them from, going down that route if that's something that you really feel strongly against.
Yeah.
And so those two things I feel like are what's missing from the conversation a lot of the times. Not every conversation, but many conversations I think are missing those things.
Yeah, I agree.
But the View's conversations are always spot on.
Always spot
on. They never miss a single thing.
Well, let's move on. We're only halfway through here. We got a lot here. All right. Okay. Whoopi nominates Jill Biden for Surgeon General.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a great take.
Yeah. I'm hoping Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife. Because Joe Biden's wife, because she, he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
Wow. Well, she's not a doctor.
No.
I mean, she has a PhD, but she's not like a medical doctor.
Yeah, she's a education PhD. As if you're watching the YouTubes here, you can see on the screen, but yeah, she's a doctor of education. But yeah, she's a hell of a doctor.
I love just whoever this like professional, his like seems to be a professional in the field. His nervous laughter after that.
His wife.
You're not serious, are you?
That's interesting.
Well, he's questioning. He's like, do I correct the lesbian black woman on a national TV show? What do I do? I'm a white man. What do I do? That's what's just occurred.
Is it just me, or does her hair look like a bunch of ashed cigarettes? It's just like you dump into the ashtray.
I think it looks like a bunch of caterpillars and cocoons.
Yes, caterpillars and cocoons is another. Why are there black tips?
I think it's because she wrapped her dreads in like some sort of synthetic blonde fibers.
Interesting.
She was like, I want to keep my dreads, but I want to go blonde, maybe.
Oh, Whoopi.
That's Whoopi being Whoopi.
I'm being Whoopi.
Jill Biden, hell of a doctor. Gotta go.
All right. Now, what take is it in here?
I believe this is one of the big ones that happened on The View. This is why Whoopi got, I think, for a time, she got suspended from The View.
Oh, shit.
I think this is Whoopi on the Holocaust.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So we're about to get into some real dicey territory.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't exist outside of their own house.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
It is. Well, it's about a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but
going
it's
after
not. It's
Jews
not about
ideal race.
But these are two white groups of people.
Well, how do we have to black people
see them as white?
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn.
Yeah, they're missing the point.
They're missing the point.
They're all missing the point.
They're all missing the point.
Everyone's missing the point, but Whoopi.
Whoopi knows.
Whoopi knows. Listen to Whoopi here.
Whoopi knows. Jews ain't a race.
Listen, they're all white here. I don't get it.
They're all white. They all run The View.
There's nothing racist about the Holocaust. Yeah,
I know Hitler said he wanted to create a master race, but that has nothing to do with race.
Absolutely. What does that have to do with race?
It's not race.
And here she goes. Oh wait, she gets into it.
Into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody. eats each other. So
Italians, the kids running around Thanksgiving.
Italians.
I know. Blacks, Jews, Italians, your grandmother menopause.
The Irish.
The Irish. That's funny.
Is it, if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, "Oh my God, I wonder if that's"?
Did they
me?
start playing music?
That's not what they're gonna say.
They're like, go to the ads, go to commercial break, please.
They're like, do the thing that they do at the Oscars. Just play her off.
Play her off. Go. Oh, shit.
Quickly. She's still talking. She's still saying the Holocaust is not about race.
They're gonna say, "I don't want to be like that."
Well, hopefully.
I want to be cool.
Yeah.
And
Most kids, they don't want to be cruel.
No, they don't.
And we're living in
Most kids don't want to be cool. What?
I think she said cruel.
Oh, I thought she said cool. Sorry. All right. That's wild. That's pretty wild. That's why she got in trouble.
Yeah, that's why she got in trouble. But honestly, I don't know.
Do you know where in this video?
I think her cycle just kicked in, and she was just, she was being whoopee. She was being crazy. This is what The View wanted from their women, and they got it.
This is what The View does. It's inflammatory.
Right, you want a wild take. You got a wild take. I don't know why she should be punished for having a crazy take. Now, what needed to happen was the other people on that panel should have been like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Let me explain.
Yeah.
But none of them did that.
They got afraid.
There's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Their minds all just had like the cogs and the wheels that were spinning just
It's just shut down.
Just complete shutdown. There was like, I don't know how to handle this, and that's why the producers were like, all right, we're playing her off.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We still have a few more, but we've been going a long time here. I'm starting to get tired.
We can do it.
You want to get through them?
We can do it.
All right. Oh, do you know, were we watching, do you know where the part in this one is that we're looking for?
I think it's at the beginning.
Okay. This is all about Elon Musk acquiring Twitter for $44 billion.
So the richest person in the world, Elon Musk, is also a notorious Twitter troll. But he won't have to worry about being banned anymore, since he just made a deal to buy the company for $44 billion. Musk laid out his vision for the social media site during a recent interview. Watch.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square. It's just really important that people have both the reality and the perception that they are able to speak freely within the bounds of the law. A good sign as to whether there is free speech is someone you don't like allowed to say something you don't like. Mm-hmm. And if that is the case, then we have free speech.
Well, for some reason.
How could he think those vile things? What is disgusting? Just absolute trash. That's a hateful person.
He wants people I disagree with to be allowed to disagree with me.
What? He wants people of all kinds, even the ones that don't align with me ideologically, to have a space to voice their opinions. Ugh. What a horrid human.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
I say we dunk him in the ocean and tie cement blocks to his feet.
I say, I say we do the same thing. Wow.
Anyway.
Insane.
The reason a lot of people on the right are celebrating this as a big win for free speech. But the left loves free speech too, don't we? So why are conservatives so excited over Musk taking over? Sonny?
But the left loves free speech too, don't we?
We love free speech, just not their speech. We hate their speech, but we love our speech.
Why are conservatives so excited about this?
I also like, tell us why this is a bad thing, black woman.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Wow. now.
Look, I think Twitter can be a really horrible place. And I think people are excited because he is sort of going to unleash the trolls, right? I think he is saying, you get to say whatever you want. I'm going to take away the guardrails. And for me, that is something that is a bit scary. And I think it's going to be scary to a lot of women because there have been some surveys done, and 38% of women around the world have said that they have been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse on Twitter. 85% of women have said that they have seen the abuse. And what's interesting to me about Twitter is only 22% of adults are on Twitter in the world.
They always give her the statistics. She's always the one with like the stats and has to present some kind of like percentage or stat about people.
Well, you know what? It's because they early on when the View was going, they tried to give the other people the stats.
Yeah.
And every time Whoopi was just farting away, messing them up. Joy Behar, she can't remember a damn thing. She just goes into things. And they're like, all right, well, this one can remember the stats.
Also, it's just like, so many women say that they're bullied on Twitter. It's like,
get off Twitter.
I don't understand. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Also, you can block people on Twitter.
Oh,
so if someone says something you don't like, block them. Like, I don't understand this, it's harassment. Okay, you know what? I do understand how it can affect someone's mental health if you're a young child who doesn't understand. You shouldn't let your kids be on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the place for them. You should. I don't understand it. If you're not being an adult means being able to push block and put the phone down and go. That's just strangers. You're not supposed to know everyone's opinion about you. We did go on about this a little bit in our Elon Musk episode.
I mean, is it right that people are being nasty to you online? No, but should you care that much about it? No, block them and move on with your day. Otherwise, you're letting them get the best of you.
It is right that they're allowed to be nasty to you as well. No, it's not right that they are being nasty to you. But
no, I mean,
but it also depends. It might be right that they're being nasty to you because you might have said or done something that was worthy of being nasty to.
For sure.
And just because somebody was nasty to you doesn't mean that you weren't deserving of that. And also, it's okay. Like, it's okay to not be deserving of that. It's on you to decide whether or not you were deserving of it and move on and not let somebody else's opinion of you hold so much value in yourself that you hold of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I think like I don't necessarily know that we should encourage people to like gang up on other people online, but at the same time, it's like it's out of your control. You can't control what other people are going to say about you when you put something out there publicly.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you're an adult and you can block those people and you can ignore it and move on.
Also, like, these are I guarantee. And
you can also get off of Twitter. If you don't like it, get off of Twitter. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like,
I guarantee, though, the person complaining about harassment on Twitter is also somebody who harasses people they disagree with on Twitter. Like, if you're that affected by what someone says to you, then you're definitely the person who goes and harasses other people and fights back in little stupid internet spats. If you get in an internet argument, you're a loser. Again, we're getting into the same thing we've talked about again. But if you're still on Twitter, you're a loser. Twitter's for losers.
Yeah.
And also,
but I like that she is quick to comment like, oh, this group gets, an exorbitant amount of hatred online on Twitter from people. But at the same time, okay, but think about like conservative commentators, people who go against the mainstream opinion in some way that most people are like not on board with.
They
get a ton of like threatening messages all the time.
100%.
All the time.
Not only that, like,
and that's with the guardrails.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
sometimes they get shit on by and bullied by national news organizations that don't like that they're opposing their their business.
So then it's like, if you really care that much, then you also got to care about protecting them.
Absolutely.
But you don't see them doing that.
Absolutely.
It's really just about, I want protection. I want to be able to say whatever I want. Nobody criticize me whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And we want to be able to say the things we like, but you're not allowed to say the things you like, because what you like is trash and what I like is good.
Yeah, well, what you like is, or what you want to say is harmful, but what I want to say is never harmful.
Right. And I don't know. It's like having blinders on.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's like this weird tunnel
And that's
vision.
from a 2019 Pew study. And so Twitter is not the real world. And in fact, on Twitter, it is predominantly straight white men. So when Elon Musk says, wow, this is about free speech, it seems to me that it's about free speech of straight white men. And so let them have it. Let them just go at it. I enjoy the block button on Twitter. I think it has a real outsized influence.
So Twitter's all straight white men, which I'm sorry. Is that true?
I mean, I do think statistically, because I have pretty recently looked at the different demographics for Twitter users, and I do think there are more men using Twitter than women, but most of like, again, the people on Twitter are still only 20 to 22% of all adults in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I don't know how representative it is of all men,
right,
that the men on Twitter are doing a certain thing. And I wouldn't even, like, it's just a weird, like, I don't know, you're having a small sample and then generalizing from the actions of some of that sample, and I don't know. I also think a lot of people who create Twitter accounts, based on some of the statistics that I saw, most of the people who create a Twitter account don't end up actually using it. So there might be like, let's say 60% of users on Twitter are male, but then 30% of that don't actually use their account.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will.
Yeah. So Twitter is more male.
I mean, I think, but I don't know. I don't know if that necessarily means anything at the end of the day.
So it's just a weird point to make. I think
and what is a man? Let's just get into it. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
All right. This one is about Florida revoking Disney's special tax status. All right, let's see.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is punishing our parent company, Disney, for speaking out against his so-called...
Okay, you've already lost your credibility by admitting that they're your parent company.
They're our parent company, so we're obligated to take this stance on this particular thing.
Wow.
Literally, if we're to disagree at all with this, we will be fired.
Called Don't Say Gay law. He revoked Disney's special status that could cost Florida taxpayers $2 billion. This goes against the GOP's brand of being business friendly. Now, can he win this culture war? Because he's taking on the mouse. And the mouse is bigger than Ron DeSantis.
He's taking on the mouse. And his name's Mickey, and he's big and mean.
He may be 2 feet tall, but he's bigger than Ron DeSantis.
Is he really going to win this because he's taking on that big old mouse? Does she think Mickey Mouse is real? Does she think the CEO of Disney is Mickey Mouse? Does she think when she goes to McDonald's, do you think she goes, let me talk to the manager, get Ronald out here?
Yeah, she's like, get Ronald on the phone.
I want to talk to Ronald.
Excuse me, you messed up my order. Bring Wendy out. I want to speak to her right now.
Where's Wendy?
Excuse me, I am not going to leave here until my order is corrected and I get to sit and have a chat with the king.
Disney, since they're the parent company, they actually actually spoke to her before this, and they're like, here's what you tell him. You tell him no one messes with the mouse. You remind him no one messes with the mouse.
I think she watched South Park.
Yeah.
And then was like, that
must be real. That's a
fact.
documentary. I saw this documentary last night. It's called South Park.
It's called South Park.
They had the Jonas Brothers in it. It was crazy.
And Mickey Mouse runs all of Disney.
Oh man.
What say you?
Well, there's a difference between being a mouse and a rat, but we can go into that later. Look.
What? What does that have to do with this? Is she? And did her boss is like, you calling Mickey a rat?
No, I think she's calling Ron DeSantis a rat.
I see.
That was supposed to be like look at her, she's being sassy.
It came across as though she's calling Mickey Mouse a rat.
I think I'm really bothered by this. Obviously, you all know I live in Miami. I'm a Floridian. I really, when Ron DeSantis first got elected, had very high hopes for him and thought he was being very inclusive. But he's now running for re-election, and he's running for president in 2024, should Trump not run, and he's trying to position himself with the base. So we had an entire legislative session in Florida focused on manufactured culture wars. And so I don't understand, though, how you can call yourself...
Now I'm realizing that if Disney owns ABC, then this episode might very well get taken down.
Oh, yeah.
We've done so much longer clips. Usually you're supposed to use like 30-second clips. We might be, we're definitely within the legal right to use it because we're commentating on it and creating a new thing. But Disney is one of the big ones that they'll like detect you're using any of their stuff and shut it down immediately.
3 hours of The View.
Yeah.
Just a streaming loop.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're going to get hit. We better not say anything bad about China in this one either.
No.
So I'll be pro-business, pro-freedom of speech, small government, against canceling conservative. If you want to cancel one of the major corporations in Florida for freely speaking their mind in protection of their employees. And it's not like Disney went on an all-out war against this bill. The CEO made a few statements. They weren't running ads. This was minimal. And he's, this...
Well, why do they have a special tax status, though?
Yeah, I think they're missing the bigger point here, which is... and. Honestly, The View never misses a point, so they're probably going to surprise me in the end, and they really know what they're talking about. But the bigger thing here is Disney, sure, they can say whatever they want, but why does the state of Florida need to fund it?
Right, exactly.
Like,
I don't understand why they had this in the first place. Why do they have a special tax status?
They're a giant billion-dollar corporation. I thought as liberals the status was billionaires need to be paying their fair share. So where is that energy here?
Yeah. How could you do this to a precious billion-dollar company?
Oh my God, how can you do this? How can you do this?
Is there someone specific that has the best take on this one here?
No, I think all their takes are probably on equal level. But I think her take is the one we should listen to.
And why it's happening, it's because bigotry is on the ballot when it comes to Ron DeSantis,
That's right?
And that's what this is about. It's not anti-Disney, it's anti-black, it's anti-gay, it's anti-LGBTQ plus community, and for some reason...
How is it anti-black?
Well, does Disney own BET?
Then the Republican base responds to it. It's anti-woke, and woke, what that really means when you look it up in the dictionary, it's an awareness of social justice. It's an awareness of marginalized communities. It's an awareness, and for some reason, Ron DeSantis and his Republican base, they don't want people to know that there are social injustices going on.
Amber?
Wow, I didn't know that's what woke was. I didn't know woke was being aware of the social injustices.
It's like being aware. It's like being awake.
And anyone who criticizes being woke, like, they don't want you to be aware of the social injustices.
They want you to be sleeping on the fact that there's things going on. There's stuff happening.
Oh, I have to be aware of all the social injustices. Just, the ones that I commit. You're not allowed to know about those. I don't want you to know about those. No. I don't want you to be woke to those.
No.
I don't want you to be aware or woke to the social injustices that I support. Right?
Right.
Very strange. Very strange.
Yeah. No, I think Disney, say whatever it wants. But the state of Florida shouldn't have to fund it. I don't see what, no, it shouldn't have special tax provisions.
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid.
Oh, we saw this one. Cool. So that's all of them. Wow.
We saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all of them. That was
Jesus.
it. That was everything.
So now you guys know, if you didn't already, the View, it really is the best of the best. Like, it represents what American women are all about, and that's intelligence.
It really, what it represents to me, when I think of The View, what I think is that a producer went down to a mental institution in Beverly Hills and was like, give me your finest dementia patients. Give me a couple of paranoid schizophrenics.
Yes.
Put them on a show, and they are going to release the hottest takes that the world has ever seen.
Yep.
And they were right.
And the doctors that watch over the dementia patients are like, oh, well, are you in for a big surprise? We got the star of Sister Act 2. Oh, man.
But lately, it's more like Sister Act poo. Am I right?
Oh, man. Well, man, The View is insane. What did you learn today?
Oh, man.
Wait, before you get to that, I should say that we are Working Crass podcast, and we're trying to grow and get more and do more things. The more you watch and share and listen, the more things we can do for you. We have some sketches that we'd like to start doing. We could start a Patreon if that's something you're interested in. We have some unreleased episodes we could send out. All of these things, it depends on you. How much do you really care about this podcast? I mean, I want you to prove to us how much you really like us. If you're listening right now and you've made it all the way to the end of this episode, which I'll be honest, I lost some steam. I got tired in those last couple clips, but we went on hard. I mean, we were on fire for a little while there.
But that's what The View does to you.
The View sucks your soul out of your asshole.
Right.
And
right. It sucks it right out of your anus.
That's correct. And so you can't blame me for that. But if you want more of this Working Crass podcast stuff, you're gonna have to up the sharing game, okay? You're gonna have to bring our numbers up for us, okay? This is all on you, it's not on us. There's nothing we can do. There's no additional work I can do. It's all on you. You need to do the work for this podcast. We are on Instagram at Working Crass Pod. Go give it a follow if you haven't already, and tell a friend about it. We post a lot of clips there. Go share our clips. We're on YouTube. These videos, if you've been listening to the podcast versions, well, go check out the video version. Those are all on YouTube. Just search us up, Working Crass Podcast. We're also on TikTok at Working Crass Pod, where we are down a video that was recently taken down for violating rules.
Fight back against TikTok and
go follow us.
And go follow us. Because guess what? We are bullies, and we're going to bully you into following us.
We would like to bully you into following us, please. Just do your part, okay? Just go out there and do your part. Now,
do your part, do your farts, follow us.
That being said, Lauren, what did you learn?
I learned that if you want to dress up as another race for Halloween, it's okay as long as you call it an homage.
I was dressed as an African woman. It was an homage. Well, I learned what I learned today can really only be summed up by the brilliant Tim Dillon, somebody that we both love. So I'm going to go ahead and just play a quick clip here of what I learned, and we'll close it out with that. Okay. And thank you very much. See you next week. Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of, like, there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View.